So, Sri Raghunandana Thakura disappearance. This is just from a ISKCON website. Sri Mukunda Das, Madhav Das, and Sri Narahari Sorkar Thakur were three brothers who lived in the village of Sri Khanda. Raghunandan was the son of Sri Mukunda Das. In the house of Sri Mukunda Das, who lives at Sri Khandan, Lord Gopinath is served with great devotion. One day, Mukunda was called out to do some work, and then he instructed his son, Raghunandan, to worship the deity and asked him to serve the Lord Gopinath that day. He explained to him that this deity is in our family for many generations, and thus he has been worshipped by my father and his father and his father on this way for many years. Just as your mother feeds you and I every day, so also he has to be fed every day. Having explained to Raghunandan that this is a very big responsibility and should be done very carefully to give his attention to this service, Mukunda went out. Raghunandan, meanwhile, having been instructed by his father, collected the items for offering to Sri Gopinath and entered the deity room. Raghunandan was at that time 5 years old, and therefore when he saw that Gopinath hadn't eaten the offering after he had imitated how his father offered the bhoga, he became very worried. Ultimately, he simply requested Gopinath with tears in his eyes, "Please eat, eat." Gopinath became completely subjected by Raghunandan's simple request, which was made entirely in love, and thus he stealthily ate up everything without leaving any remnants. After some time, Raghunandan's father Mukunda returned and asked his son if he had done as he was told. When his son replied yes, then Mukunda asked him to bring some of the prasadam. Raghunandan replied, "Prasadam? I offered everything just like you told me, and Gopinath ate everything. So what should I bring you now?" Mukunda was completely taken aback. This boy is not naughty and is always accustomed to speak the truth. I doubt if he could actually have eaten everything. I wonder what actually happened. Thinking on the matter in this way for some time, on another day his curiosity was so stirred that he again requested Raghunandan to offer the bhog to Gopinath. On this day, however, having gone out of the house, he again came in by another way and remained hiding in one place. Raghunandan was very happy to be able to serve Gopinath again and brought everything into the deity room. As before, he again very insistently persuaded Gopinath to take his meal. As Gopinath had eaten half of a laddu, he espied Mukunda peering out from his hiding spot. He didn't try to cover up the fact that he had eaten what he had, but neither did he eat any more. Immersed in ecstatic love, and picked up his son and put him on his lap. He extolled his virtues in a voice trembling with ecstasy. Even today, those who are greatly fortunate can see that half-eaten laddu in Gopinath's lotus hand. Thus, Sri Uddhav Das sings the glories of Raghunandan, who is non-different from Madan, Cupid. Raghunandan was present at the Ketori Utsav. In Krishna Lila, he was Kandarpa Manjari, and in Dwarka Lila, he was Sri Krishna's son, Kandarpa. Raghunandan's son is Kanai Thakur. His descendants are still residing in Sri Khand. Sri Khand can be easily reached from Katwa by bus or train. He was born in the year 1432 Shakabda. Okay, this is another ISKCON website about Vamsidasa Babaji Maharaj. Vamsidasa Babaji was a Gaudiya Vaishnav sadhu who lived at Swarup Gunj, Navadvip, during the time of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was respected by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, and he was used to see it that Vamsidasa Babaji was provided with grains, and so on, by Gaudiya Mat brahmacharis. Srila Vamsidasa Babaji appeared in the village of Majidpur in the Jamalpur district of Bangladesh. Before the partition of India, this city was formerly in the district of Mymensingh. His father's name was Sanatan Malo Brahma, and he was previously known as Bhairab. Babaji Maharaj came to Navadvip from East Bengal. He lived as a total recluse, far away from the hubbub of the town, in a solitary place on the bank of Ganga near Baral Ghat in Navadvip, as if he was mad or a crazy person. His only possessions were an old kopan, Karanga, and Kanta. Vamsidasa Babaji lived in a world of his own. His world centered around his deities Gaur Gadadhar, Nitai, Radha Krishna, and Gopal. For the service of his deities, he had 2 brass pots, some earthen pots, 1 plate, 1 glass, small cups, panchapatra bell, and conch shell, and nothing else. Baba passed day and night in the service of the deities in sweet talks with him. Early in the morning he went out from his kuti to collect flowers. Then he went for bhiksha. He returned to his kutia about noon and made garlands from the flowers for each of the 6 deities. After that he would cut vegetables. He washed each vegetable a number of times. Then he cleaned rice. He examined each grain of rice. If he found any grain for which the husk was not removed, he removed it with his own hand. He did everything slowly, contemplating all the time the Leela of Radha Krishna or Gaur-Nitai, and singing and talking to them. It was only late in the evening that he could cook and offer bhoga. He had no consciousness of time. Morning and evening, day and night had no meaning for him. Almost the whole night he kept awake, talking and singing. One day a lady selling fish approached Vamsidasa, offering him some choice type of catch. Somehow or other the Babaji's mind became attracted to tasting the fish, but he immediately rebuked himself and became very angry. At first of all, shouted at the woman to go away. Then he shouted at his deities, "How could this happen? How could this happen? I've surrendered my life to Radha Krishna. I'm under their protection, and still this happens. Why are you not protecting me?" He went storming into his bhajan kutir. People gathered while he fussed and fumed at his deities inside. Then he came out, bringing the deities tied by a rope, and threw them into the Ganga. He kept the end of the rope under his foot. When one man inquired what he was doing, the Baba threw a stone at him. When this news reached the Gaudiya Mat, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur called his brahmacharis together and forbade them from visiting the Baba again, except for one who would just deliver supplies. After a few days, he again called them together and said, "Some of you think I've stopped you from visiting Babaji Maharaj because he is in Maya. That is not so. I prevented you because you were not able to understand this Bab, and you will only commit offenses, so you better stay away." Later, when one brahmachari visited, Vamsidasa Babaji Maharaj threw a stone at him and told, "If you want to please me, then never return here again." Babaji never locked the door of his kutir when he went out for bhiksha or to bathe in the Ganga. When asked why he did not lock his kutir, he said, "If the owner of the house himself does not keep a watch, then what is the use of locking the house? I do not even keep the keys of the lock with me. The lock has 3 keys. All the 3 are with the 3 boys. One is Gaur, one is Nitai, and one is with Gadadhar." After entrusting the lock and the keys to the 3 boys, Baba used to be free from anxiety. If while he was out, a cow entered the kutir and ransacked everything, he would be angry with the boys. If someone stole something from the kutir, he would say, "Gaur has a soft corner for Nadia Vasis, the residents of his own dham. Therefore he gives things away to them. I am after all an outsider." Once a golden necklace given by someone to Sri Gaur was stolen when he had gone out for bhiksha. On returning to the kutir, he kept on scolding Gaur and asking who he had given away his necklace to for about 2 hours. Towards the evening he got a hint, and then went to the house of the thief and asked for the necklace. The thief pushed him down the veranda. He was hurt, but he did not say anything. But how could Gaur tolerate this? The thief soon died, as well as all the other members of his family. Once Baba had to punish Gaur Nitai for their connivance in a theft. The 2 brass pots in which Baba used to cook for Gaur Nitai were stolen. How could this happen without the connivance of Gaur Nitai? So they were punished. Baba scolded them and did not give them anything to eat that day. The punishment had its effect. The next day, someone came quietly and delivered one of those pots. Baba said, "This small pot is Nitai's. He will be fed today. If Gaur wants to eat, he must also bring his pot." Baba always did what he said. He cooked and offered boga to Nitai. Gaur drew a long face as he kept looking at Nitai's eating. In the meantime, another man came and delivered the other pot. Baba then cooked in that pot and offered bog to Gaur. When Gaur also had eaten, he said with tears in his eyes, "Do I ever want to punish you? But both of you are so naughty that you always harass me. Don't you always know that now I've become old and cannot bear it? What can I do?" Babaji Maharaj did not stay exclusively in Navadvip, but also traveled to many holy places. Whenever he saw a peepal tree, he would sit under it, taking it to be the Vamshivat under which Krishna played his flute to attract the gopis. Once he had installed himself there, it would be difficult to get him to move. In February 1941, Vamsidasa left Navadvip and headed for Vrindavan. He sometimes walked, sometimes traveled by ox cart, and sometimes by rail. He first went to Katwa, where he stayed for 2 days under a vat tree near the railway station. Then he took the train to Bhagalpur, where he stayed for a day, again under a vat tree near the station, and for 4 days by the Ganges. Then he traveled on to the Gaya, where he remained on the banks of the Falgu River for 3 days. He also stayed on a boat in the Ganges near Swadashmameda Ghat in Banaras for 3 days, spent another 3 days in Ayodhya, at the Triveni confluence at Prayag for 10 days, 2 days at Vishram Ghat in Mathura, 8 days at Vamshivat in Vrindavan, at the Madhya Churya on the bank of the Yamuna, the Govindadev temple, the Kaliya Daha near a tamal tree on the east bank of Surya Kund, at Nandagram, 2 days at Pavan Saravar, and 9 days at Vamshivat Ghat in Vrindavan. Everywhere that he went, he remained absorbed in chanting the holy names and meditating on Krishna's form and pastimes. After 3 months, he returned to Navadvip Dham in the month of Jesht. Those who traveled with him recounted that when wandering through Braj Mandal, he would sometimes sing songs about Krishna Lila, sometimes glorify Navadvip Dham, sometimes laugh madly, sometimes he would babble incoherently, and oftentimes he would remain silent. When visiting a temple, he was often seen muttering confidentially to the deities, disclosing some personal sentiments to them. All in all, his companions were charmed by his devotional absorption. In an old Gaudiya Math weekly magazine, further accounts of Babaji Maharaj's travels are given. It is stated there in the 4 years from March 1943, he traveled to Ambika Kalna, Kharagpur, Baleshwara, Soda, Bhadrak, Kurda Road, and Purushottam. During these travels, the sadhus of the Gaudiya Math rendered great service to him. Nothing is known about Baba's life as a householder, except that he was married at an early age, and his son Hari Chandra was 9 or 10 years old when he renounced the world. He went to Navadvip around 1906. There was a person from Navadvip Dham who used to come to Babaji Maharaj. One day he thought, "I have the desire to obtain the Supreme Lord. How can I get Bhagavan?" This person came back repeatedly to see Babaji Maharaj. Finally, one day he approached Maharaj directly. "What do you want?" Babaji Maharaj asked him. "I want to see Bhagavan," the man said. Babaji Maharaj replied with only one word, "Then weep for him." Babaji Maharaj's disappearance day was on the Shukla Chaturthi of Shravan. Jai Babaji Maharaj. Jai.
Ki Jai Ho, Maharaj Ki Jai Ho, Shri Radha Raman Maharaj Ki Jai Ho.